Hey guys, Silverlord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse. Yes, I know, another DC Multiverse review. Jeez, can't help it. Todd Father pumps out way too many freaking releases these days, so he's gonna have to sit there and deal with it. That said, today we are taking a look at Steel from the Reign of the Supermen. Character I'm quite fond of, despite the fact I am not a huge Superman fan. Watch my Animal Man review from a few weeks ago for more on that, I guess. That said, this of course is brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. If I haven't said that enough over the course of the past week, but yeah, man, really stoked to finally have a figure of this dude. The only other one I have is Justice League figure, and well, that's not in scale with anything I review on this channel. So this is the best we got. That said, I'm going to say it right now, the Mattel ones are a little bit better, style-wise. But this one, for the price, isn't absolute garbage, but I will say it could have been a lot better. That said, we'll talk about that more shortly, so why don't we cut right to the chase, get into the meat and taters of this review, and take a look-see at Steel's only real accessory, quote-unquote real accessory, his big old honkin' hammer here. Which I'm not going to lie, a little gummy. You can see it kind of wiggling there, but I did have to straighten it out once I opened it. But once you straighten it out, it maintains its shape okay, especially when you have it in two hands. Have him holding it with two hands, not my hands are small, but they're too big for that. That said, it would have been nice to get all hands with this guy or an unhelmeted head, but you know, I don't think anyone wanted a Shaquille O'Neal head to come with this figure, right? Yes, I know about that awful movie. I've seen the Kenner figures in mixed lots on eBay, and I've heard pretty awful things about that movie. It is some of the hottest of hot garbage. I'm curious as to why they made it, because, well, Steel was a big deal for Reign of the Supermen. Other than that, did anyone really care after that? You know, he's cool in Justice League Unlimited, but other than that, anyone care after that? I kinda don't think so. I'm trying to think if he was in any of the CW shows. I don't think he was in Supergirl. He might have been in Superman and Lois, but honestly, that escapes me because some of those shows went off the rails really fast. Especially like Legends of Tomorrow. Like, get the heck out of here with that weird time travel BS. Either way, random side tangents aside, he does also come with a collectible trading card, which in all honesty looks a little bit better than the figure. We'll get into that. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about Steel if I pull up my reader here.
Steel TN, REIN of the Supermen, data file, real name, John Henry Irons TM. During one fateful day at a construction site, Superman TM saved former engineer John Henry Ron's life. Following Superman's deadly battle with Doomsday, Irons took up the mantle to protect Metropolis. Using his technical expertise, Irons constructed a power armor suit, adorned with the conic S-shield as tribute. John Henry's armor granted him super strength in flight. Irons also developed a weaponized, self-propelled hammer in honor of John Henry's American folk hero namesake. After Superman's return, Irons continued his work on two fronts, aiding the world through technology with his company Steelworks and protecting the skies of Metropolis as Steel. Multiverse.
Wow, that was a long one. Hopefully I heard that. I think I had the volume turned down. But, long story short, Steel is named after, what is it? They called him Henry Irons there? Or John Henry Irons? So, I do remember that, that old folklore tale. It's about a black dude who, was it, raced against a train or something? Very interesting. I never knew that about good old Steel here. I like him a little bit more as character now, knowing that. But, taking him off the stand. Trademark hockey puck display stand. We used to see him with all McFarlane Toys releases. He is, of course, part of the Reign of the Supermen. So after Doomsday kicked the snot out of Superman and killed his arse, this guy took up the mantle to protect Metropolis. Really the only good Superman to come out of that other than Connell Kent after, you know, some reworking. But I like this figure, but I will say he's got really long thighs. I know your thigh is longer than your lower leg, and I think knee, but this is insane. And then he's got big flat feet, so I wish their feet were a little bulkier. Maybe the thighs were a little shorter. But other than that, I think the upper body's okay. I like the pauldrons. I would have liked to maybe have 2 gauntlets instead of a wristband over here, and whatever this is. This looks like a Mysterio gauntlet, while this looks like a Black Widow gauntlet. Very interesting. He's got the cape on the back. It's soft enough, and it's short. Pretty short, although it should go down to his feet, to be honest with you. But again, his thighs seem like they should probably end here, maybe. And then that's where the knee should start. That way, the cape would probably be right at his feet. But as far as articulation goes, his head can look up, can look down, can tilt side to side. Seems a little small maybe, but I don't know. I'd rather it be small than too big, because too big makes it look like a bobblehead. At least small, you can just say, oh, he's just yoked, you know? It does rotate. Again, I think I said it had tilt before, but in case I didn't, it does. Shoulders can go out pretty far. The shoulder pads will get out of the way for the most part. It's freaking steel. I don't think he needs to do a whole lot. He rotates there. He's got that floating cap thing. Bicep swivel. Double elbow. I don't know why I'm showing it on that side. He's got a little cliff of dough over here. Not enough to sing the song. And then he's got a tiny bit there, but it's better than some. And he does have a ball hinge wrist on both sides. Again, it would have been nice to have 2 sets of hands, maybe open hands and the kind of grip hands for both sides, but whatever. Torso joint was a little loose on mine out of package. Let's see how it holds up now. He can crunch forward, not very much, but he can crunch back a little bit. And of course it does rotate, and it does tilt side to side. And, it is a little loose, but not floppy loose. And it will stiffen back up if I just leave it alone. It's got a waist swivel, but it is very tight. I'm not going to futz with that. Let's see if I can... Yeah, see? There you go. That's not so loose. It's locked in place there. Hips can kick forward a little. I didn't kick forward very far at all. His diaper's too... Yeah, I can't really get those to move. I thought his legs kicked forward better than that. That's weird. How was T-Biz able to pull off one of his crazy poses? But they do kick out pretty decent. He does have a thigh cut, which is actually pretty generous for a DC Multiverse figure that does not have like an actual thigh cut, but still not great. He's got double knee, which on this guy is very tight. And no cliffs of Dover there. That's pretty nice. I guess that's as far as it's going to go. Again, like some figures, you're going to want to pop the knee joint like once here, just to get it to sync up there. But once you do that, he can stand up fine. And then his ankles are really tight. I don't know if he's got the whatchamacallit joint in there. It looks like it does, but I can't get mine to move, if that's the case. And his feet are straight on there, so I wish he had like a boot cut or something, but oh well, I guess. He does have toe joints, but again, the toes on this guy are a little long. I feel like they could have like cut this short, maybe instead of that lip here, right there. You can see that where my thumb is. But yeah, it's he does have the thrusters on the bottom though, so that's how he flies. I kind of thought he had like rocket boots, but I couldn't remember. I remember seeing him floating in Justice League Unlimited though, so that's cool, I guess. But yeah, that's steel. Could have been a lot better. I think stylization of this figure is a little off. I think they took a little bit too many creative liberties with this guy. Just made him look a little funny. Why won't you stand, dude? I just had him standing up. I don't know what's going on here. Bend his bottom leg? What the heck? That's weird. Oh, there we go. But yeah, that's Steel in a nutshell. I like the figure. I'm happy to have a Steel figure that's not just the Justice League one, but you know, the Justice League one, while stylized, matched the source material. I don't know if the Steel matches any source material, so you know, kind of wish McFarlane would just pinpoint what the heck it is they're doing exactly and just roll with it, but you know, I guess it's better than some of their releases that I've passed on and will not be covering on this channel anytime soon. So with that being said, it is time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Steel alongside his fellow Supermen, Connell Kent Superboy, who we took a look at last week, and the collector's edition return of Superman with mullet, over-yoked body and all. Shout out to friend of the channel, Evil Villain, for hooking that one up. And as you can see, even compared to the overly yoked out, meme-tastic Superman, Steel is still pretty tall. I figured Superman might have been tied with him, but it looks like Steel is a little taller, probably because of those oversized upper legs. That said, getting these two out of here. Now bring in our two regulars, because my review of this figure would not be complete without him. Brother Mandibulus, who I finally adjusted to not have his staff flailing about. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who was another tall black dude figure that's prominent on this channel. And yeah, even good old Al Simmons here is no match for Steel because he even towers over him. So for once, the infamous 11 Spawn does not tower over all. That said, is it really towering if he's just like a few millimeters taller? Probably not, but you know what? My channel, my rules, so F it. That said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from good old Steel here having some very questionable and stylized decisions made proportionally, honestly don't fit the character 110%. I do still really like this figure, mostly because I don't have a Steel to compare it to. Heck, I don't even have the freaking Total Heroes one from Mattel, let alone the one that Four Horsemen sculpted. So, I honestly can't say which is better. I can tell you, to me, without having it in hand, that obviously the Mattel one that Four Horsemen sculpted, probably the best Steel we've ever gotten. It's not the most articulated thing. It's a bit of a brick, but that's how most of those Mattel figures were, so gonna have to kind of let that go. But at the end of the day, I think McFarlane could have probably done a better job with Steel here. I think if you took the legs out of the equation, I think the upper half is pretty solid. I think the upper legs are a little long and the feet are a little long, but the lower legs and the knees are okay, so maybe if they swapped the thighs out for something a little chunkier and made the feet a little bulkier, this would have been a little better. Not gonna lie. Of course, unhelmeted head, because we've never had that for this character before, and some alt hands would be nice, but for what we get in the box, the core figure itself, I think they could have made a couple of better choices, we'll say. But it is a Steel figure for my collection that did not cost me an arm and a leg, so I guess there is that. Hopefully he's not sold out yet. You could still pick him up for around 20 to 25 bucks. And for a character as cool as this, me not being the biggest Superman fan, this is a lot. I think that's well worth it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.